I have another reproduction, and that's Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom. And the donor cart that I'm going to be using is Rad Racer. I got this from Second Charles for $4.95. It's a good price. Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom is an SGROM, and Ridge Racer fits that bill. I wouldn't have done this reproduction ever, but when I was searching through eBay and looking at old Nintendo games, I ran across this game, and it blew my mind on what this game demands. It's in the range of $600 to $800, and that's to me that's a little bit outrageous. I would never pay this. I mean, for whatever reasons, maybe rarity, low production run, or whatever it is, whatever the case is, this game commands a high price. And I've actually played it on an emulator prior to doing this repo, and there's nothing special about this game. Yeah, it's a little quirky, little fun, but to me, the price is commanding. It's not worth it. But I just decided to make this game out of from Ridge Racer, Rad Racer, from Rad Racer. I apologize. This game didn't cost me a lot of money, and the EPROMs that I'm going to be using it only cost me $1, so around $6. When it comes to the label, there was no real artwork I can use to make it my own, so I decided to make it as close as possible to the original label. There's some things missing out of it. I mean, if you have a sharp eye, you'll see it, but it's a good approximation, and I think it looks really good. So if you ever decide to make this game, you can go down on the link and get the label yourself. Moving on, I'm going to talk about Ridge Racer. I mean, I want to talk about Rad Racer here. Now, I looked at this, I looked at the reviews, and people think it's an alright game. I would differ. I think this game kind of sucks. I don't like it, and it reminds me too much of Pole Position. Because I actually have it. I have the pole position for the Atari 5200, and when I was playing Rad Racer, man, this game is like almost the same. Almost the same. And I mean, they both have bad graphics. They drive the same. The goal's the same. Get to the checkpoint. And I mean, if you don't believe me, I'll show you. I'm going to show you right here the similarities between the two. Remember, this is over a 30-year-old game. Pole position right here. I'm going to put this on my Atari 5200. I'm going to use this controller that I got working. I added the gold-plated pads and also the webbing inside, so it works. It's not fabulous, but it just works. Bang. Rad Racer. Don't need to see that. Man, see, I told you it's the same. Well, back to this game. I'm gonna open it up. This is SGROM, covered by this capacitor. SGROM. Alright. It has a CHR RAM, so I don't have to remove this. But I do have to remove this. It's a smaller EEPROM, 28 pin, not 32. I already took the liberty of desoldering it. And just to let you know, I don't have a fancy soldering pump. I actually have one of these manual hand pumps. It does me just fine. See, no scarring on the board, or minimal scarring. Very small, and the pins, they're not compromised, so I know that I'm gonna have a good connection. Now that it's desoldered, I'm gonna move on to my my PRG EEPROM. Now that my PRG EEPROM is ready, I'm using again the M27C 2001 because it's the size that fits it. And what you do to prep this EEPROM is that you have to lift pins 1, pins 2, pin 24, pin 30, and 31. And when it comes to wiring, you're going to leave pin number 1 floating. You can leave it disconnected pin 2 to hole 24, and pin 24, you ground it to pin 16. That's your ground. You can either go on the bottom like I did, or go on the top. Pin 30 goes to hole 1. Alright, and 31, don't connect it. Now, with the small indentation, just follow the hole here. So you take pin 30 to hole 1, and pin 2 to hole 24. There you go. It's that easy. Just pull them on through. Just make sure you don't have them tangled on under any pins. Here you go. And once it's seated, you should have like 2 wires sticking up because you already grounded the 24 pin. We decided to go my route. Now I want to secure my chip. Now that I secured my my EEPROM onto the corners, I'm gonna start removing this excess wire. About the same height as the EEPROM, the pins. Once I get that, I'm just gonna melt off the corners with my soldering iron. The temperature that I'm using, 380 Celsius. The temperature works good for me. Now that I got my 4 corners done, I'm gonna start soldering the whole thing. I'm gonna go real quick. Nobody needs to see this. When soldered in, the wires you push through should be like should be fleshed. Similar to the ones, if you'd like to, just cut a little bit more. Makes you feel better. That way it doesn't droop down. There you go. Too easy. There you go. And that was it easy. There you go. And unlike a UN ROM, does the same thing as removing the PRG only. The SG ROMs, they're large enough where you don't have to remove the resistor and put in the back. You can just leave it alone and it'll fit just fine, as you can see. Yep, let's test it out. Oh. I'll put it in my hard-working Nintendo clone. Oh, cross your fingers. Oh man, this bad boy's working. One day ministry pumpkin, whatever, man. I'm gonna go forward. I'm gonna read this. Ah, they got a red chili move. Okay. Celery forest. There's a baby. What that Parasimon? Would I look at it? I'm gonna fight it. Fight the baby. He needs my help? Okay, I'm gonna dump it. What? You can't afford to throw that. I'm gonna give it what check. The baby. Oh man. Well, it's a point and click adventure. I'll tell you, it works. Now I own it. Oh man, I'm not really feeling this repro. I didn't want to do Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom, but and I saw the price on that thing, and I'm like, man, let me check out that hype. And played a little bit, decided to do a repro. It was a little cost to me, as you can see, $5. The EEPROM was about $1, and the label that I had designed just took a little bit of my time, less than an hour, and had it printed out for about 50 cents. So everything really cost me about $8 or $8, and well, now I own Princess Tomato in a Salad Kingdom. Yay! Oh man. Nope. Time to close this bad boy up. Like I was saying before in my other videos, I use donors just like this Rad Racer because they're cheap. Nobody wants them, and I'm gonna continue doing them until there's a cheaper method. Not necessarily the best method, but it's cheap on the wallet. Oof. Now that I'm done, I can put this in my collection. The label, it's and link below if you want it, use it for your use only. This one, I'm just gonna prep it for the next repro.